Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the BAE Sports Podcast. I'm Baylor, paired along with Aaron and Ethan as always. It is March 24th, 8:32 p.m. Gonzaga just lost to Arkansas, so the night is starting off well. Tonight we're going to have a more shorter episode of the podcast. We're going to go over our post-free agency NFL standings and go over our playoff teams as well as our Super Bowl picks. First off though, Aaron, Ethan, how y'all doing this evening?
This is a audio show. I need more than a thumbs up, Aaron.
Oh yeah, I'm very good. How are you, Ethan?
I'm doing splendid. I changed
Splendid.
the way my room looks. I said this is an audio show, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I got my bed in the background. I got my 3D printed Bass Pro Shops pyramid right here with me. Looks like Baylor's back in his dorm. Baylor, what's it like in your dorm?
Fourth episode, fourth location. It's pretty nice to be back. I'm in kind of a creaky chair, so I'm hoping it doesn't creak as much. But it's good. Decent lighting. I don't know what the video is doing, but it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back.
That's right. All right. Well,
Awesome. Well, we have. First, we're gonna go through the AFC. We'll take turns going through each division, and at the end, we'll go to the NFC and do the same thing, and then give our playoff standings. I'll go first with the AFC North. In first place of the AFC North, I have the Baltimore Ravens. In second, the Cincinnati Bengals. In third, the Cleveland Browns. And in fourth, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Ravens at 11-6, Bengals at 10-7, and the Browns and Steelers at 8-9. And with the Deshaun Watson trade, it might seem really low to have the Browns at 8-9, but my prediction is it will be an 8-game suspension. I don't think the NFL is just going to let all of this slide. We know the NFL is weird with suspensions, so I feel like it's probably only going to be 8 games. And so they'll have 8 and 9 in that span. I really like the Ravens to come back. If Lamar's healthy, if this team is healthy, they were the best team in the AFC. Last time the whole team was healthy, so I expect them to have big things this year. Aaron, how about your AFC North standings?
Have the Ravens first, the Bengals second, the Steelers in third place, and the Browns in fourth. And same with the Deshaun Watson situation. He'll probably be suspended. I actually saw a tweet today that there was a new case where he ejaculated on. Yeah, you see that too?
Yep,
Yeah.
I saw that. God damn it, Deshaun. Can you just do something not awful for once? So what do you have with with their records?
Okay, the Ravens are 12-5, Bengals 11-6, Steelers 9-8, and Browns 8-9. Tough division, so they're kind of close. Yeah.
is it my turn?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
All right, so every episode I have to have a bit like a weird thing that I do, right? Now I've always said that I don't follow the NFL enough, and if you just told me any team had any record between 0 or 17 wins, I'd believe you. So what I did was I RNG'd every single team's win-loss record, made sure it added up to 272 because that's the amount of games that are played in a season, and I justified every single one to the best of my ability.
I'm so
So-
ready for this.
I set the limits at least 3 wins, or at least 3 wins, and no more than 13 wins, because that was how many it was last season. I did it once, and I had too many 0-win teams and too many 17-0 teams. I'm like, that's not realistic. So, we had a pretty similar AFC North. I have the Ravens at 13-4, the Browns in second place at 10-7, Bengals at 8-9, which is like the most questionable one on here, and then the Steelers at 3-14.
Oh man.
So, do you want
How
me
you
to
gonna
go through all
justify the
these
Steelers
teams?
one?
Wow.
You can
Um,
just pick one or two. I feel like the Ravens one is
Yeah, the
fine.
Ravens,
Wanna see-
same thing you said, Baylor. Hopefully they can put it together. Watson's probably not going to be there for too long, so it's not like the Browns are going to get that many wins. It's so hard trying to convince you guys that the Bengals will have a losing season, but I don't know. I said that the Bengals fans have hope, and they are going to be roasted for having hope.
Super Bowl slump. I mean, the 49ers, they were the second worst team in the league after they were in the Super Bowl. So you lose the Super Bowl, and it's very hard to get back.
It's Jimmy Garoppolo, though. This is Joe Burrow, and they upgraded their O-line. 3 new alignmen. So
I don't know. I think they're having a down year.
What about the Steelers? 3-14.
Steelers, they don't have a quarterback, and it's been a long
It's-
time since they've had to find a quarterback. So like,
they have a quarterback.
Who?
They have a
Money
quarterback.
Mitch.
Money Mitch.
oh yeah, how well did he do in Chicago?
He got to a Pro Bowl and had his team at 12-4. I'm just saying.
I think that's fake news. Actually, let's move to the next division.
Okay, we got the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
In first place, I have the Buffalo Bills at 13-4. In second place, I have the New York Jets at 8-9. In third place, I have the Miami Dolphins at 7-10, and I have the New England Patriots at 6-11. I am not really going to justify the Buffalo Bills one. I think they're the best team in the league. I think Josh Allen's going to win MVP next year. I think they got pieces that they needed: a pass rusher, another tight end, another weapon. They're fine. I don't really need to justify that. I think the Jets are really sneaky, scary. They got a lot in free agency that helps upgrade their team. If Zach Wilson's the second overall quarterback that he was drafted to be, and I expect him to have a leap. 8-9, their schedule is not that hard. If you look at the Jets' schedule, it's not that hard. 8-9, maybe they're worse, maybe they're better. I think the Jets are there at 8-9. Dolphins, I'm going to be the lowest person on the Dolphins probably. I had them at 5-12, and then they signed Teron Armstead and traded for Tyreek Hill. I have a video on my TikTok at Baylor B. Bryant talking about why I think that the Dolphins trade was terrible. It's going to get them a win or two because they have Tyreek, but they gave up so much for a guy they basically already have with Jalen Waddle. They got a good offensive lineman, but that doesn't mean the whole O-line's fixed. 7-10. And the Patriots have been terrible. They haven't done anything this free agency. I think Mac Jones is pretty one-dimensional and not very good. I think we're seeing the decline of Bill Belichick's career. I think they're kind of done, and I think we're seeing the end of the Belichick era. Aaron, go ahead with your AFC East.
Well, to add on to your Bills take, I completely disagree. Yes, I also have them at 13-4, but I don't know, man. I don't see the hype that you're giving them. But second, I have the Dolphins.
Thus, you put them at 13-4.
Okay,
I don't see the hype that you're putting them, but I'm going to give them only 4 losses.
No, they're definitely good in the regular season, but they're not. Oh, okay. This is about regular season, but I was just talking about into the playoffs. But moving on, the Dolphins are second at 11-6 because they won 9 straight games this year. They have Mike McDaniel, a genius at head coach, and then they added Chase Edmonds. Their wide receiver course kind of stacked now. And Tua, he can only improve. He can't get worse. He's kind of been bad. So Patriots 5-12. Mac Jones is garbage. Jets at 3-14. What's his quarterback? Zach Wilson's not good either. He's not good either. Ethan, what are your thoughts?
Baylor, I had the exact same order as you.
Let's go. The RNG knows. The RNG knows.
At 13-4, like Aaron.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you had that as well, Baylor.
At 13-4, yeah.
Whatever. That's not too crazy. I had the Jets at 12-5.
Let's go.
And in my notes, I said, this is hard. I don't know how I'm supposed to defend the Jets having a 12-5 record.
Zach Wilson becomes Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, even better than Aaron Rodgers.
What's RNG?
Random number generator. I generated a number, and that's what it gave me.
Okay.
Let's see. I said they have some nice players in free agency that they signed. And
true.
I forgot to mention, the way I looked this up for these notes was if they had a better record than last year, I looked up, for example, Jets good, and whatever came up, I read it. If they had a worse year, then I would look up who I have in third place, the Dolphins. I'd look up Dolphins bad, and I'd figure out what they had to say. So I have the Dolphins at 6-11. I said that their offensive line is not very good, and so it doesn't matter if you have any if you have really good wide receivers if you can't throw the ball in the first place. And then I have the Patriots at 4-13 at the bottom because it's like, okay, Brady's gone, everyone's just declining in New England, so that's what I have them there for, 4-13.
Honestly, your RNG has not been terrible so far. Out of
I have
eight
some
teams,
stinkers coming up. Don't worry.
it's not been awful, but I'm excited to see what the other ones are like. So now we got the AFC South, which is going to be my most polarizing, and you're probably going to be like, well, that's just RNG too.
Jags at number
I am
one.
going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars in first place at 9-8.
For real?
Yes.
9-8.
I will defend it when I'm done with my list. The Tennessee Titans at 9-8 in second place. The Indianapolis Colts at 8-9 in third place, and the Houston Texans at 4-13 in last place. Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that is the most interesting because they now upgraded from Urban Meyer, who didn't know who Aaron Donald was, to Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. I'd say that's a pretty big upgrade.
Big Dick
And
Nick.
Trevor Lawrence, who's one of the best QB prospects we've ever seen, who had terrible offensive line, bad weapons, and bad coaching, so he was not proficient in his first year. Expect a big leap from him. Third, yes, they spent a lot of money in free agency on players that aren't flashy big names. They didn't get a Teron Armstead. They didn't get Devontae Adams. But they had the money to spend, so they spent it. They franchise tagged Cam Robinson, signed Brandon Scherff. They got 2 guys back that they could protect Trevor Lawrence. They signed tight end and O.J. Howard and 2 wide receivers. And yeah, you might be like, they overpaid for those wide receivers. It's still an upgrade from what they had. They're going to have the number 1 overall pick. So they're going to get a player like Aiden Hutchinson or Kyle Hamilton or Kayvon Thibodeau to add to this defense. They got Foyesade Oluokun. They still have money to spend. I expect a big leap from the Jags. Titans, I've always been low on the Titans. I think Ryan Tannehill is not very good. Derrick Henry's probably at the decline. He did not look good at all in the playoff game after his surgery. The wide receiver core looks pretty good now that they got Robert Woods. Defense, I think, is fraudulent. I think they'll be good. I would not be surprised if they beat the Jags in the division, but 9-8. Colts at 7-10. I think they're better. 8-9. Colts at 8-9. I think they're better than their record would show. I just think they got a really tough schedule. I think they're basically the same team, but with a more conservative quarterback over a more dynamic quarterback in Wentz. I don't know if that makes them better or worse, but I think they're probably around the same place they were last year. Texans rebuild. There's not much to say about it.
Well, I have the Colts at 12-5.
Ooh.
People actually, they underrate Matt Ryan so much. He's still kind of like mid-elite quarterback. He's still good enough. And the Colts offensive line is a top tier running back, best in the league from last year. They're solid, even though the receiving corps is kind of mid. They can get there, and it's a weak division. So I still have them at 12-5. And I agree with you. The Titans are also on the decline. You can't give Derrick Henry 30 touches a game. And he also got injured. He's definitely not going to be like as dominant as he was the past few years. And then we have the Jags at 5-12. I agree with you. They can. I mean, they definitely could be like a 9-8 team, but no teams.
I'm sorry. I had to take a walk.
You know how Patrick Mahomes made the jump in his second year? It's because that was with Andy Reid. This is Doug Peterson. And Patrick Mahomes had he had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Trevor Lawrence has literally nobody. He's not going to make
Christian Kirk and James Robinson.
Dang, that's insane. But he's not going to make that jump. I want him to succeed, but I don't think it's going to happen. And yeah, Texans full rebuild, 3-14.
All right, here we go. I have the Titans in first place. I have the Colts in second. Texans in third and Jags in fourth. Titans, I'm high on Derrick Henry. He was a beast. Was it 2020 when he was rocking the world? Was he more recent than that?
Both years.
Okay.
Yeah, before his injury this year.
Yeah, if he and all of his buddies can stay healthy, that team is dangerous.
Ryan Tannehill, though.
I mean, I don't know. They made it to the playoffs when I was paying attention that one time. I wish I could tell you more about when that was.
They were the number 1 seed in the AFC this year.
Yeah, they got potential. Second place, I have the Colts at 9-8. Matt Ryan replaces Carson Wentz, but I don't know. It's the Colts. When's the last time they've done really well?
Andrew Luck.
That was like a decade ago, man. Texans at 9-8. I read an article where they're like, we're trying to, sign some players, right? We're trying to make a platform to attract top talent next season. I don't know how much propaganda that is, but if they can get like a 500 year, then maybe someone will want to play for the Texans. I said that out loud. I regret saying that. No one wants to play for the Texans. And then in last place, I had the Jags at 4-13. They're trying to recover from Meyer,
Respect.
but winning's not easy in Jacksonville. It's another loser team. I don't know. I have those loser teams where in my gut I'm like, these teams aren't going to win, and it makes me sad to say. But the Texans, the Jags, the Browns of the world.
What'd you have as did you say the Titans record?
Titans are 13-4 in my book.
Okay. I don't think you said
Dang.
the record when you were doing it.
I apologize, but
I mean, hey, they were the 1 seed last
Yeah.
year. They were a fraudulent 1 seed. They got
Yeah.
absolutely fucking mopped with,
mhm.
like I said. But everyone was like, you can't be a fraudulent 1 seed. Yes, you can. But yeah, it's not bad. I can definitely see them winning the division. I think it's really anyone's except the Texans. I don't think the Texans have a shot at all.
Mhm.
They got 2 first-round picks, but it's like they'll add those, and then they have Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks. I don't think the Texans are it. 2 or 3 years though, Texans could be a fun, interesting team.
Mhm.
So now we have the last team in the AFC West.
division.
We have the AFC West, the last division, not last team. Last division, the AFC West, which this is going to be the most interesting one because of how good all 4 of these teams are. In first place, I have the Los Angeles Chargers at 12-5. Second place, I have the Denver Broncos at 11-6. Third place, I have the Las Vegas Raiders at 10-7. And in fourth place, I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 10-7. I think the Chargers are the best team by far in this division. They are a 13-14 win team, but they have such a tough schedule, and you can't give them every single game they're favored in because upsets happen every single week. The Jags beat the Bills last year. They had a top 5 offense, and they had a bad defense. And the bad part of the defense was they didn't have a true number 1 corner, and they could not stop the run. Then they signed Sebastian Joseph Day, on the defensive tackle beside Aaron Donald on that great run-stopping defense. Khalil Mack, great edge rusher and great run defender, and J.C. Jackson, a number 1 corner. They fixed every single problem they have, and they still have a pick where they could get a linebacker or a defensive tackle that they still need. They're a super deadly team. Justin Herbert's going to be a top 3 MVP candidate. It's going to be an insane team. Broncos, great roster. Then added Russell Wilson. They got the no-fly zone. Patrick Surtain's going to be elite next year. The offensive line's not great, but Russ has succeeded well with no offensive lines. The Raiders, this is a good team. Their defense isn't awful. It's kind of good. They got Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. They got Devontae Adams now. They got Derek Carr. They have one of the best receiving corps in the league now, and a decent offensive line with Darren Waller. They were in the playoffs last year, and they got better, so I don't see why they're not. And in fourth, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Someone in this division has to be at the bottom, and the Chiefs are the only team in this division that I think got substantially worse in the offseason. They lost one of the best offensive weapons in the league with Tyreek Hill. They lost, Tyrann Mathieu hasn't signed anywhere, but they signed his replacement, Justin Reed. They lost one of the best safeties in the league. They signed Juju and Marcus Valdes-Scantling, but that offense isn't going to be the same without Tyreek. They don't really have a good running back. They had the opportunity to sign one and didn't. They're still going to be good because they got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. But I think they're going to be at the bottom of the barrel in the best division in NFL history, which is not something to whine about.
Completely disagree with your order. I feel like we all have very different orders. This is like, it's kind of a toss-up because you don't know what's going to happen. But
Well, that's why there's 3 of us, because if it's just one person giving their thing, there's not someone to be like, you're fucking stupid.
yeah.
So why am I fucking stupid, Aaron? We're going to see.
All right. Well, I think we all have the Chargers at number 1. I have them going 13-4. Self-explanatory. Justin Herbert, 50 touchdown season this year. Put that down.
I like it.
But I don't agree with the Chiefs take. I have them at number 2 at 11-6. Tyreek Hill, yeah, it kind of changes everything, but Juju's still there. They're going to be fine. It's Patrick Mahomes. And I think Russell Wilson to the Broncos is like a fraud type of situation. it's just I feel like he's not gonna do good. Like I just imagine it. Like poverty franchises stay poverty franchises.
Yeah.
And Broncos
They won a Super Bowl 7 years ago.
with Peyton Manning.
Now they got whatever.
He's top 3 of all time, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yes.
I don't see Russell Wilson doing good. He's gonna have a hot first 5 games and then fall off again. But yeah, I don't know. They could also be the top team in the division. You just really don't know. Any of these teams could actually win the division.
Mm-hmm.
But
Any of them could, and I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders were 13-4 and won the division. Like this
Yeah.
division's so stacked.
But what's crazy about that too is it's not even in a like this division is really bad sort of way where it's like, oh, someone could, I don't know who's going to be the least worst. It's who's going to be the best. This is definitely the one everyone's excited about.
yeah, like the NFC East, you're like anyone can take it because everyone's so bad. But
Yeah.
Raiders obviously last, 8-9. Devontae Adams not going to do too much. He's not going to be as good because Aaron Rodgers forces him the ball. Derek Carr's not going to do that. They're not going to be dominant. I feel like they're going to have a hard schedule. I mean, in the AFC West, if you have to face all these teams, the Raiders are most likely going to lose all of them. It's going to hurt their record. They're going to be last.
Yeah. All right. I can continue on what you're saying because I also have the Raiders in last place with a 4-13 record. This is hard to justify. But yeah, they'll lose to everybody in the division. Why not? Even like 1-5. That's like, it's already. Oh god, I still have 8 losses left to go. Whatever.
I mean, Josh McDaniels sucks ass. So
I'm gonna say that it's gonna be hard for everyone to get their head in the right place because they're in Las Vegas, and they're football players, and football players aren't really known for making smart decisions off the field. So we'll see how that goes. I'll go down up. Third place, I have the Chargers with 7-10. I don't know, man. I think it's like the Clippers in the NBA. They're just never going to be the better team. And if they are, no one cares. Like, who cares about the Chargers?
They have no
ever?
fans.
that's fair. They have no fans whatsoever.
I saw somebody wearing a Chargers jersey today, and I'm like, why?
Bandwagon.
Yeah. I just don't think they'll be able to put it together. That's what I put. You can say that for anybody. I don't think they could put it together, and you at least don't sound like a total moron. Second place, I have the Broncos at 10-7. Russell Wilson's pretty good as far as I know. I mean, he was an MVP pretty recently. That means a lot in the NFL when every quarterback pretty much is good. Like I feel like if you go back not too long, there were a lot of bad quarterbacks. Yeah.
Ethan,
What?
Russell Wilson doesn't have a single MVP vote in his career.
For real?
Yeah, Derek Carr has more than him.
Okay, well, you know what? That's fake news. I don't believe you. Russell Wilson good. He won that Super Bowl, I think.
Did win a Super Bowl.
All right, Super Bowl winner.
Carried,
How many Super
though.
Bowl wins do you have, Baylor?
0.
Okay, that's what I thought. In first place, I have the Chiefs at 12-5. Same old Chiefs. Mahomes is good, man. I think that they'll still win the division because Mahomes, like as an outsider, in quotation marks, outside of Brady, I think Mahomes is a new face of the NFL.
Agreed.
So
Oh yeah, I agree as well.
don't count out touchdown, Patrick. But I'm done with my spiel on the AFC West.
I think now instead of going right into the NFC, we just recap our AFC and just do our division standings,
Okay.
and do NFC, and then we can be like, which team are we going to pair in the Super Bowl? So for mine, with the 1 seed, I have the Buffalo Bills. We don't need to go into like all the details because we already just said it. With the 1 seed, I have the Buffalo Bills. With the 2, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. With the 3, I have the Baltimore Ravens. With the 4, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. At the 5, I have the Denver
See how
Broncos.
that sounds wrong to you?
It does. Okay, it does sound wrong, but they can't be the 7 or the 6 if they win the division. They're going to be the 4, but it sounds bad. At the 5, I have the Denver Broncos. At the 6, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. At the 7, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I have the Chiefs missing the playoffs.
Sound weird, right?
It does. It does sound weird
Mhm.
saying Jacksonville's the 4 seed and Chiefs miss. But it's post free agency, but not really even post. We're going to do this video last week, and then Tyreek Hill just got traded. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not anything could happen.
Yeah.
This video, as I'm editing this video tomorrow, the Chiefs could trade for DK Metcalf. Watch that fucking happen, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, Bengals out, Chiefs in. But Aaron, what is your standings?
Our first three are the same. Bills number 1, Chargers number 2, Ravens number 3. It sounds so weird. I'm just listing off numbers, but the Colts at number 4. Chiefs actually made it, and this is more realistic at number 5. Cincinnati Bengals at number 6. Miami Dolphins at 7, and the Broncos at number 8.
Shit, you saying the Broncos aren't gonna make the playoffs? Gonna put Miami over them? God.
Yes.
Ethan,
Okay, so there's 17
Find
in the
some light
playoffs,
on
right?
this.
For each conference?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's-
because yeah.
You
Get
need,
that right
you need
then.
the division winners of 4 division winners and the 3 wild cards.
All
That's
right,
why the
perfect.
Jacksonville Jaguars at 4 sounds really bad, but they have to be because they won the division.
So this is going to sound really normal for the first 4, and it gets off the rails pretty fast. Bills at number 1, Ravens at number 2, Titans number 3. That sounds pretty good, right? Everyone give a round of applause for the RNG. That's really good. Next up is the Jets at number 5.
You didn't say 4.
Oh, sorry, number 4 is the Chiefs. That's another, like, that's a fine pick. The Chiefs having a home field advantage. Then the Jets, Broncos, and Browns to wrap it up.
Hey, if the Jets are good, if the Jets make the playoffs, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Not from me and Aaron, but you heard it from Ethan. Not from
Yeah.
me or I said it correctly the first time. I don't know why I wanted to correct myself.
There's no way the Jets are making the playoffs, but you heard it here first. And
Hell
then
yeah.
I say who I have in the Super Bowl, right?
We'll just wait till the end because we have
Okay.
our 7 here. We'll have our 7 there.
Sounds
Then we'll
good.
do it for the very end of the podcast. Now we're going to the NFC
All right.
with my Minnesota Vikings NFC North. I don't have the Vikings winning the division. I try and be the most unbiased sports fan I can. I have the Packers winning the division at 12-5. I have the Vikings second in the division at 11-6. I have the Bears in third in the division at 9-8, and I have the Lions at last in the division with 6-11. With the Packers, they lost Devontae Adams. That really sucks. They lost Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That also sucks for them. But at the end of the day, it's Rodgers, whatever you want to call him. He competes in the regular season and then folds in the playoffs. They still got a good defense. They'll draft. They have 2 first-round picks. They'll spend one on an offensive lineman, which they need, and they'll spend the other one on like Chris Olave. Or, I don't know, Traylon Burks if he falls. So they'll get a number 1 receiver. He's not going to be Adams, but it's Rodgers. At the end of the day, Rodgers still going to do good. But the Vikings had a sneaky good offseason, and people don't follow the Vikings. Unless you're a Vikings fan, you don't really follow the Vikings. They didn't sign anyone huge except Zadarius Smith, which is huge because we stole him from the Packers. They also signed Jordan Hicks, Harrison Phillips, almost forgot his name for a second, and they hired Kevin O'Connell, who had a system in LA that really worked for Stafford, and Kirk and Stafford play very similar. Justin Jefferson's going to have the best receiver season in the league next year. Not of all time, just that year. I think the offense is already really good. They added a lot of good pieces on the defense. They don't have that tough of a schedule. I think it's like 20th tough schedule. Are they the 5th best team in the NFC? Probably not. Do they have an easy schedule? Yes. I'm going to have them in the playoffs. The Bears, I think Fields makes a leap. I like Fields and Lawrence a lot. I think they're going to be top 15 quarterbacks next year. They need to get him weapons. They need to get him an offensive line. They hired a defensive guy as their head coach. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think they're there yet, but as a Vikings fan, I still think that the Bears are going to be a decent team next year. And the Lions, I don't think they're there yet. They still got Goff. They still got defensive problems. They still need more weapons. I don't know if Dan Campbell's the guy. I don't. But I know they'll draft the guy, probably Ritter or Corral at that last pick in the first round they have. But I think we're a year or 2 away from seeing the Lions actually compete.
It's actually crazy how we went from the all-time high AFC and then we have to go down to the depressing NFC.
I know.
Like just
Yeah,
at
NFC is
these
super
records are so
depressing.
bland.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this might surprise you, Baylor. I have the Vikings at number 1, going 14-2.
You mean
So they're gonna
14 and
forfeit a
3?
game.
Oh yeah, 14-3.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm all here for it.
I'm used to the 16 games, but
I'm very pessimistic, so
with
I don't have as much optimism as you right now. But
yeah, with Kevin O'Connell, I saw that there was this quote like a long time ago, not too long ago, because he's just hired, but they wanted to use Justin Jefferson the same way they use Cooper Kupp, and I agree. Justin Jefferson's gonna have one of the best receiving seasons ever, and Kirk Cousins, he has to prove himself so he can get a big deal next year because they signed him to a 1-year deal, right?
yes,
So
1 year extension.
Vikings,
So I'm pretty sure he has 2 more years, but they can
yeah.
like only guaranteed money is this year, so they can like obviously trade him or cut him. But I think this is Kirk's last year to like prove himself as a long-term option.
Yeah, the Vikings, if they stay healthy, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, they were elite trio. So if they stay healthy, I think they can go dominate 14-3. They're not in a hard division.
I would be so happy with that, Aaron. You don't even know.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be so happy to turn on Sunday football and not have a 50% chance or more of being depressed for the rest of the day.
I know. But Aaron Rodgers, this is his downfall. He's going 11-16. Or no, not 11-16, 11-6. A poor 11-6. I'm just gonna go through these. These are self-explanatory. Justin Fields not that good, 5-12. Lions 2-14-1 because they always have that one tie game every single year. Yeah,
I'm excited to see who you say they're gonna tie against.
I have no idea. I don't. Who are the
Did you not
opponents?
pick another team to tie them?
I didn't think about that. This was a last-minute thing.
No, that's fine. They'll probably just tie themselves.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'll add it while Ethan's talking.
Okay. Is that my cue?
That is
Yes.
you.
Okay. NFL I wrote NFL instead of NFC. Sorry about that, but for the NFC North, I have the Bears at 13-4. I have the Lions at 13-4. I have the Packers at 7-10, and I have the Vikings at 4-13.
Every sim hates the Vikings. Like you go to Madden franchise and you sim a season, the Vikings are always like 3-14 or 4-13.
Maybe they deserve
Simming
it.
RNGs hate the Vikings so much.
So, for the Bears, maybe Justin Fields will have a breakout year. What's the likelihood of that? I don't know. He played for Ohio State. He's pretty good for Ohio State. I hope I'm right on that. I should be right on that.
You are right on that.
Okay, yeah. The Lions, Dan Campbell sounds like a good football coach name. That's like Dan Campbell. Oh,
That's exactly how he sounds
He could lead the Lions to a playoff berth real fast because he's Dan Campbell. He's gonna surprise you guys. Just wait and see, okay? Packers at 7-10. Aaron Rodgers is gonna miss some games because he's gonna be sick, and losing Devontae Adams is gonna hurt.
Sick.
Yeah. He's still not vaccinated, right?
He's not.
True.
Okay, he's gonna be out sick. It's gonna be so funny when it happens too. You know,
Dude, it's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna
Everyone's
happen,
gonna get their
right.
jokes in. It's gonna be great. And then the Vikings at 4-13. I'm disagreeing with you guys. They won't stay healthy, and Kirk Cousins is gonna suck.
I hope what Aaron said happens when you said doesn't happen.
I just put that in there to make you mad, Baylor, because
That's fair.
If you-
Well, I know it's RNG. You don't actually think they're gonna be 4-13.
I actually do think they're gonna be 4-13. These are my
Stick
actual
with
thoughts.
RNG. Fair enough.
But yeah, I just want to make you mad because when you guys are like, "Oh, Baker Mayfield doesn't have it anymore," I'm sitting here huffing and puffing. So I understand how
Kyler
it
Murray's
feels.
cool.
No, he's not. I don't like Kyler Murray.
All right, I'm done talking about the NFC
Rip
North.
headphone users.
Now we go to the NFC East, or the NFC Least, as a lot of people like to call it. Ha ha ha. I don't think this division's that bad. At the top, at least. I have the Cowboys at 1 at 10-7. The Eagles at 2 at 10-7. I have the Commanders. I hate saying Commanders. I have the Washington Red Wolves. I'm going to say that. At 7-10. And I have the Danny Dimes-led New York Giants at 3-14. The Cowboys were good last year. You could argue, In the regular season, they were the best NFC team. In the regular season, you could argue that. They were amazing. Ezekiel Elliott's contract, once again, fucks everything up. They lost Randy Gregory. They lost Amari Cooper. They're not, it doesn't seem like they're motivated to be good because they're wanting to pay a lot of guaranteed money to a running back. So, NFC is pretty weak. They're still an above average team. I'm going to give them 10-7. Eagles, they have a lot of first round picks. Jalen Hurts can only go up from here. He's a not very good passer. This is another OU guy that I'm bashing, I just realized. He's a great runner.
Yeah.
He's not that great of a passer. He's not that great of a passer. He can only go up. Mm-hmm. They were 9-8. They did not really have that good of a defense. But if they use all these picks on defense or these 2 picks on defense and 1 on a receiver, you could see an improvement from the defense and Jalen Hurts. So I expect them to be above average. Commanders, I don't know how I feel about them. Because on paper, their defense was supposed to be really good last year, and it was really bad. On paper, the running game was supposed to be good, and it wasn't really because Antonio Gibson just wasn't very good last year. They upgraded to Carson Wentz. It's definitely an upgrade over Heineke. Other than that, they lost Brandon Scherf, their best offensive lineman. They lost some other guys on defense, Matt Ioannidis. They could be 7-10. They could be 9-8. They're a very mid team. The Commanders are a very mid team, and the Giants. Brian Dable is in for a storm. This O-line is not very good. This quarterback is the worst or bottom 3 worst starting quarterbacks in the league. Receivers cannot stay healthy. Their best player on defense does not want to play for them. James Bradbury does not want to play for them. Their defense in general is not very good. It was supposed to be good. Was not very good. And their best player on offense, Saquon Barkley, is probably going to get shipped for a 5th or 6th round pick.
To the Chiefs.
Probably, maybe. This team is so terrible, and I feel so bad for Brian Dable because I like the guy. This is a very, very bottom of the barrel team. I think they are getting rid of Jones after this year, and they're going to draft C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
Okay, I agree with that. They're probably going to get the number 1 pick.
I have them getting the 2nd. I have them getting the 2nd overall pick. Aaron, go ahead with your NFC least.
I barely even want to talk about them. They're so...
Just run through them. Again, the NFC East is so just boring. They're all mid.
I'll talk about them a little bit. I mean, they're the same division. The Cowboys got worse. You trade away your wide receiver 1 for a bag of chips. Dak Prescott's not good. People still call him a top 10 quarterback. He's so mid. But the Cowboys go 9-8. The Washington Foreskins go 8-9.
4-9.
The Eagles go 6-10-1. They tie with the Lions.
Wait, who ties with the Lions?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
But
Ethan's laugh 10 seconds. It's gonna sound like the new Joker's laugh.
Okay.
Where do you
Giants.
have Giants?
3-14.
Hell yeah. Fuck Daniel Jones. He's probably a nice guy. He is not a good quarterback. He's not listening to this, but if this circulates to him, Daniel, I don't think you're a bad guy. I just think you shouldn't throw a football.
All right.
You don't really want to elaborate on the NFC East, do you, Aaron?
He muted?
No. Dog barking.
Ethan, go ahead with your NFC least. If you have the Giants at 15-2.
I have
think I'm gonna have to
3
kick you
playoff teams out of the NFC East.
God damn it.
I need your help with this, okay?
Okay.
I have the Giants at 13-4 because the
No,
coach
fuck
looks like
you.
a fun guy to hang out with, and I think he'll put a positive work environment in the Giants locker room, and they're gonna be. Do I have them as the number 1 seed? I have 2 13-4 teams in the NFC North.
So yeah, just pick whichever you think
They'll
is
be
better.
the 3rd seed, whatever. But they're gonna have home field advantage in the playoffs this year. You heard it here first. The New York Giants will play a home playoff game this year. 2nd team are the Commanders, 11-6. And here's I hope this is the last time I have to talk about this team for like a year, but 2 years from now, no one's going to care about the fact that they're called the Commanders. Like, I'm telling you, you guys are going to forget that it's stupid. The Pelicans in New Orleans, the basketball team, it was so stupid when they changed from the Hornets to the Pelicans.
It's
No one
still
cares
stupid.
anymore. No one cares.
I like the name. I like the Pelicans.
At the time, it was such a joke. I like the name Commanders. I think it's good. I have them at 11 and 6
Skins.
because
Skins.
now that they don't have an embarrassing name for the first time ever, they're free to be a good team for once. They're gonna go 11 and 6.
fair.
Cowboys 10 and 7. Okay, you got Prescott. You got Ezekiel Elliott. Okay, you guys are gonna lose in the first round of the playoffs again. Awesome. That's great. Keep it up. And then I have the Eagles at 9 and 8. I have every single team in this division having a winning record. This is super realistic.
RNG go crazy.
I think Hurts improves, like you said, and everything else will probably decrease a little bit, so they'll just kind of maintain the same record.
Sounds about right.
That's awesome.
The
I
Giants
kind of just
won.
made that up. I'm glad I was right. We're not talking about the NFC East anymore.
All right,
Let's go
we're
somewhere else.
to the NFC South,
Oh,
which is kind of like the same. We can go through it quick because it's kind of the same bullshit as the NFC East. The NFC sucks so bad. It's so depressing to be in here. At 1, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 13 and 4. They're better than the Super Bowl team. They got better than the Super Bowl team. Somehow, their roster is better than the Super Bowl team. Do I think they are that good? I don't know. We'll have to see how Brady is after retiring for 1 month. In second place in the NFC South, I have the New Orleans Saints at 8 and 9. They need to get weapons for Jameis. That's all I'm going to say. I have the Panthers at 5 and 12. I don't care if their quarterback's Sam Darnold, if it's Jimmy G, if it's Kenny Pickett, if it's Corral, if it's Willis. They're going to be like a 5 and 12 team. Their quarterback's not going to change anything. It never does. It never does. Since Cam was in his prime, it's never changed it. And in last place, with the number 1 pick, the worst team in the league, I have the Atlanta Falcons at 3 and 14. And I don't want to elaborate because I kind of already said what I wanted to. Aaron, go ahead with your NFC South.
The Tom Brady Buccaneers literally has not changed except like one player. So they're going 12 and 5. Saints go 7 and 10. Falcons 5 and 12, and Panthers 3 and 14. I'm not going to elaborate.
all right.
Ethan, what craziness happened in your RNG?
I have the Saints winning the division with 11 and 6. I think they're gonna
That's not
pick
bad.
up a rookie quarterback, and then that rookie quarterback will lead them to the playoffs, and everyone's gonna lose their
Matt
mind.
Corral.
Matt Corral, I like that. If Matt Corral gets drafted by the Saints, leads them to the playoffs, that would be awesome. And I think he has the swagger to do it. Second place, I have the Falcons with 9 and 8. I think Mariota's gonna try his best on a new team and do all right. I had to look up Falcons good, and that was the best thing I
There's
could
not
come
a
up
lot.
with. It was
There's
so
not
tough.
a lot of good right now.
Third place, I have the Bucks, 6 and 11. I think it's time to count out touchdown Tom. I don't think his heart's in it. Dude, he's like, I don't want to play anymore. But I might do, though. So I don't know. I don't think his heart's going to be in it. It's going to be like when Jordan came back and played for the Wizards. It's going to be like, okay, you don't want to play anymore. You're old and you're decrepit. They're going to go 6 and
And you're
11.
stinky.
The
You're old and
Panthers are going to
stinky.
go 4 and 13. It's going to be a disaster, and Matt Rule will be gone, which stinks because I like Matt Rule.
I like Matt Rule too.
Does he
to
still
be
wear the
honest.
No.
vest and like the
Do
undershirt?
you guys,
I'm
you
pretty sure
guys
he
actually
does.
like
Okay.
him?
Yeah,
He played-
he's a great college coach.
Yeah, he coached
He's
for
a great
Baylor.
College.
I
He
wish
should not have went immediately from
Mhm.
coaching in college to being a head coach. He should have
Yeah.
been an assistant somewhere. That was the Panthers just being dumb. They
But-
should have brought him in as an assistant and then had him work his way up.
I don't think he would have left Baylor for an assistant job though.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I wish he stayed with Baylor, even though like
Me
I
too.
want them to be bad because I'm an OU fan. But
I like Baylor.
I know you do. But I
Well,
don't
yeah,
want them
of
to
course you
win.
do.
So yeah, he's gonna be fired, and I say everyone. I'll be disappointed. I'm like, damn. And
I
then
will
he's
too.
gonna like rule another college team, and it's gonna be crazy.
I'll be happy.
It will be. He's gonna go to Kansas and make them insane or something.
Kansas has a decent coach now. They're on the way up.
Well, then he'll go to I don't know,
Yeah.
Arkansas. somewhere. He'll
Something
go
like
somewhere.
that.
He'll go somewhere and be good in college.
I'm done talking about the NFC South. Let's escape to a better,
All right,
more interesting
NFC
division.
West. Good division. Good division.
Yes,
Guys,
finally.
give it up for good division.
Yay.
The NFC West, a little bit more interesting than the NFC South. I have the Los Angeles Rams at 12-5. They lost pieces, yes. Did they gain pieces? Yes. I think this is going to be a more offensive team than defensive team. They signed Allen Robinson, who is an improvement over Woods. They're trying to get Odell back. Yes, they lost Von Miller and Sebastian Joseph Day, but I think this is going to be more like pass heavy team because they're paying Stafford a lot of money now. I still think they're going to be pretty good. I have the San Francisco 49ers at 10-7 as the second team. I think Trey Lance is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be this like absolute stud. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think he's top 10. Is he going to be a more dynamic than Jimmy G? Yes. Is this team probably going to have the same record they were last year? Yes. They're basically the same team. Just they're going to have – it's basically going from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan, in my opinion, but the opposite. You're going from a conservative, good quarterback to a dynamic athlete, good quarterback. But, like, it's going to basically be the same thing.
Who's the quarterback for the 49ers?
Trey Lance from North Dakota State.
Okay.
At 3, I have the Cardinals at 7-10. I don't trust this Cardinals team. They were terrible. I might have them going worse than that. Bad organization. They cracked under pressure at the end of the season. They started like 6-0, and then were barely a wild card team. They really messed up. And if you're a team like that, I don't expect you to be good the next year. It's kind of like what happened with the Steelers last year. Tyler, it just does not seem like he's in the game right now. There's been so much like rumors and tension between him and the organization right now. And he's like, I might go back. I've heard a thing where he might go back to baseball. So like he's not in the right mindset to like lead a team to the playoffs. So I have him at 7-10, and I have the Seattle Seahawks at 4-13. Even if they have Baker, if they have Geno, if they have a rookie, this is one of the worst rosters in football. Russell Wilson made them relevant.
Okay, I have the Rams, of course, at 11-6 at the top of the NFC West. Nothing crazy, not a hot take. But the next one, well, actually, I'll save this for later. But number 2, I kind of agree with you, Baylor, but I think everything will be fine when the season starts. And a healthy DeAndre Hopkins, they'll be one game away from the top of the NFC West at 10-7. But I disagree with the Trey Lance take. He's going to be hot garbage. Every time I watch him, I cringe so hard. He does not throw to George Kittle, his best. What's up?
I would like to do a video on the account during the summer of watching every single Trey Lance snap in the NFL, because there's people who say he's going to be awful like you, and people who say he's going to be a stud, and then I'm just in the middle. So I actually want to like break down film. So expect that in the future. I'm going to break down Trey Lance film, and so I'll actually have an opinion by the season. Just for right now, I think he's going to be fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's awful.
I think he'll be good in a few years, but this is his first year starting. Everything's going to be a little slow for him. So I think he won't be that good. He can't make the reads yet. He'll be fine in like 5 years, but 6-11 49ers. And then obviously the Seahawks are going to be not that good with Drew Lock, so they'll be 4-13. Go ahead, Ethan.
So, I have the Rams at 9-8, winning this division. This is awful, honestly. This is like my least favorite division I had to do is the last one. They had a lot of one-year rentals. I feel like some of them are leaving. They're not going to be as good. I'm sure they can get more one-year rentals, but they'll still make the playoffs. Second place, I have the 49ers. I didn't know Trey Lance was on it, so I just thought they had to get rid of Garoppolo because I heard they have beef. I had to look up 49ers bad, and they were freaking out about Garoppolo, so that's what I found. But I guess Trey Lance will be mid. That's fine. 6-11, whatever. I guess he doesn't have a lot of experience if you can watch all of his snaps in a TikTok amount of time. Seahawks I have also at 6-11. Russell Wilson leaving is gonna hurt. I guess you guys are freaking out a lot, but I'll be 6-11. Whatever. They're the Seahawks. They got loud fans. And the Cardinals. This is my least favorite team. I'm gonna have to do here. Cardinals at 4-13. So, I think Kyler Murray is gonna be absolutely perfect. He's gonna throw bombs. They're gonna be perfect. But every time a receiver goes up, it's gonna slip through their hands, and everyone else is gonna be so terrible. And Kyler Murray will be completely perfect and justified, and everyone else is going to be sad because Kyler Murray is, like, my favorite player in the NFL.
Fair.
It's kind of funny how, like, you did this RNG, and your favorite player had one of the worst records out of your RNG.
They have the worst record, tied with the Vikings and the Panthers in the NFC for me.
Okay. So we got all the divisions. Let's go 1 through 7 on our NFC. And then after that, we can go in what NFC team we're going to pair against what AFC team. I'll start us off with my 1 seed is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My 2 seed is the Los Angeles Rams. My 3 seed is the Green Bay Packers. My 4 seed is the Dallas Cowboys. My 5 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. My 6 seed is the San Francisco 49ers. And my 7th seed is the Philadelphia Eagles. Aaron, take it away.
My 1 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. My 2nd seed is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3rd seed is the Los Angeles Rams. 4th, Dallas Cowboys. 5th, Green Bay Packers. 6th, Arizona Cardinals. 7th is the Foreskins. 8th is the New Orleans Saints.
All right, we're all looking at me. This sucks so much. This is going to be the worst NFC bracket prediction you guys will ever hear in your life, okay? Number 1, I have the Bears. Number 2, I have the Giants. Number 3, I have the Lions. Number 4, I have the Commanders. Number 5, I have the Saints. Number 6, I have the Cowboys. And number 7, I have the Rams.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It sounds like it should be
You are
reversed.
right. That is
I know. This
terrible.
is like what the draft is going to sound like.
Yeah.
I guess we can like snake draft this. I can tell you guys my Super Bowl prediction, and then we go Aaron Baylor if you want, just so I don't have to talk anymore after this because this sucks.
Okay.
For Super Bowl picks, I just picked a random team out of the playoffs because the playoffs don't matter. I have the Titans facing off against the Rams. Despite the Rams being number 7 in the bracket, they're going to look at all of their opponents and be like, oh, okay, so first round we play the Giants, easy. And then they're going to play, like, the Lions, easy. And then they're going to play the Bears, easy. Rams are going to make it to the Super Bowl. And then the Titans are the Titans. Derrick Henry is going to go off in the playoffs, and they will steamroll to the Super Bowl.
Nice. Aaron, you
Well,
want to go with yours?
yeah. Isn't it hard for teams to go back to the Super Bowl in back-to-back years? I feel like that's not common.
His NFC was the Giants, Lions, Bears. Like, what did you want from him?
Yeah,
He had to pick one of them that was in his playoffs. He couldn't say.
I didn't even get to
the
pick. That's
Packers
just what the
were in
numbers told me.
playoffs.
Okay. Well, I got surprise pick. Ethan, you're gonna be so happy about this. I got the Cardinals in the Super Bowl.
Kyler Murray revenge tour. Let's get it.
I think the Super Bowl is actually in Arizona this year,
Oh,
It
really?
is.
and it's 3 straight. This would be the 3rd straight year
Okay.
a team will play at home in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And on the other side of this, we have the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right.
Nice. I kind of didn't go with, like, look at the 7 on each side. I'm like, who's, like, going to win the most games? I went with my best 2 teams. I went with my
Who's?
2 13-4s because I think they're the best. Historically, Brady is amazing in the playoffs. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the Super Bowl. This NFC is so bad. Rodgers is Rodgers. Rams aren't as good as they were last year. Cowboys are Cowboys. Vikings are Vikings. Eagles are Eagles. And 49ers, I don't trust Trey Lance to do anything in the playoffs. I think this NFC playoffs is going to be a cakewalk for Brady. I think they're in most definitely. And for the AFC, I have the Bills. I'm not going to say Josh Allen revenge tour because everyone was saying that last year, and the Chiefs beat them again. But funny enough, I don't have the Chiefs in the playoffs, so they can't do that. I think the Bills are really good. I think Josh Allen might be the best quarterback in the league next year. He's got great weapons. He's got good defense. It is going to be tough going through that AFC more than it is the NFC. They could play the Chargers, the Ravens, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Bengals. It's so tough in that conference. But I have the Bills and the Buccaneers. So we've got Ethan with the Rams and Titans, Aaron with the Cardinals and Chargers, and me with the Buccaneers and Bills. Awesome. I think got some good predictions here. Ethan's are a little shaky, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Blame the computers.
Blame the computers. I think that's all I have. We'll be back up next week to cover any news that happens. We don't really have a plan yet for next week's episode, but we'll get it. As always, follow us on our YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube at BAE Sports Podcast. Follow us on Spotify because this is the first episode that, as of recording, we have a Spotify BAE Sports Podcast. On Podbean at BAE Sports Podcast, but now it's basically just going to be Spotify. On our Twitter at BAE Sports Pod and on TikTok at BAE.sports. Aaron, Ethan, do you have anything?
I'm ready to get the show on the road.
You mean end the show?
I'm ready to end the show and get on the road.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful night.
Goodbye.
See you next week.